he wasn't actually well as an lawyer. Right? So I called him yesterday and I know so hospital, but so he decided to go for a walk. And then on a lengthy talk, what I realized is Ghana and you cannot even get somewhere to walk. Let me just stress on the point. A quite be anywhere Benanti, so here be a menamia, so so much your car and I have a nipa quine. But I also want, this is where I live. I'm going to show you where I live. But one was in my community, they are building a factory here. It is a power plant. They're actually building a company here. I be supply electricity. Now, say what your house here, let me just turn it this way. The company is under construction as well. And then Abone or that is exactly the same place Omoyam Abono for whatever it's going to be used for. But let's follow the argument about it here. Because in a very small community, I can walk around my community and show you the number of factories are mobile across there. Let me just get maybe closer and maybe let me expand the stretch of this one so that you can actually see it a little bit. So over here, one was a company in the building or and then Abono the factory, it's also say Anyaka easy way. They are just the quarry and everything. Resources now within the same community so they are building a very big factory or company here. Ubi our baby and with me. Let's continue our discussion because there's something I want to show you as well. So when we are building a nation, we need to build a nation. I'm going to do something here for you to actually see. As we are about to cross, this is a pedestrian crossing. But look at what the driver is going to do. What if I did a driver here? You see? Because I'm right in the pedestrian crossing, also driver and I stop it. Exactly. And they have over here to her. Or my draw nipa and a bicycle coin. Right? So because we own a car and as an exactly. That is how we build a modern society. So we are also baby painting a different color. And this side a different color. This is actually for bicycle riders. There's a bus lane also, car driving around, and this is for Nipa. Right? Let's do this. And you can also see there are forests here. I'm gonna walk lengthy, so and on my left here is where the company is being built. Say we need to be very straight. Now who's a minor we are building it for people. Let me just position my camera very well. Everything I'm going to show you, you can actually see it very well. Well, I am not Nanti will be a bicycle fan, but I rather be a Nipa fan. So this is an asphaltic road. You can actually see. I test the fact asphalt. Car quiet the baby. Forest no. And there somebody thought and says, okay, yeah, my car. Any Nipa, any bicycle, and drive it on the same lane, right? And maybe a car namno different. And they've designed the road. Say, along the point you see, say I'm gonna walk along the car path. Engineering way of doing things. Forest no say biwa, and then cars are driving behind a particular forest. And then on my right also, forest is also here. This is what I wanted to talk about because when I spoke with my friend, basically Ofrimikrum Techiman in the Bono East region, but he has been my follower on YouTube for long enough. This particular platform, sometime a year live streamer, I've mentioned his name. He wasn't well recently. Now and then I free hospital. But I'll follow the argument here. Because as a people, we need to reason up and then do things sending Yankopon at the boy. Because I say, then Yankopon Abonipa say. There is an adage that says that when the last tree dies, the last man also dies. Because Nipa is saying we need the environment to do almost everything in our day-to-day activities. Because we breathe fresh air and other things based on the plants and the trees that we have in the community. But Pacho Bisa, I want to say Ghana, but be out in Miami Biwo, and I say in Miami Biniho. Chairman, I want to make court case, recent court case. I decided not to bring it here, but let me just explain it. The second one, Chairman, all called on a Tano Nimrim Forest Reserve. But the word forest reserve. Meaning the giant forest not to say ma ubia enko say forest no. But Chairman went to me, I have heard him and seen him on a lot of videos saying say, but be a forest will be ano gold ewo. So this is what he decided to do. He by himself decided to enter that particular forest. Akotwa enuane nyina atogu. Akosi den yasim eye galamsey. Eho no na ekọ komo. Ekoye. That is the galamsey aspect of Chairman Wuntumi's court case. It is NPP ni bia ka kire say Chairman Wuntumi case no. Na court in case where galamsey a galamsey dia no so beba. Nti ka obi ase obi a entonable. Nti when we live in a society a sebe se nipa yare and now to wo pesa wo nante keke. Te say ndey and then Saturday me sorry and I'm so let me just go for a walk because it's either I go to work, I come home and stuff like that. On my building a system they say is here ye nipa kwan say obetimi nante I enjoy fresh air. I say how the fresh air is coming from money but then I feel it. It's okay, right? Then there is something else I want to show you. I was in the forest, you know, very clean. Ubiye no waba betim say ubetwa enua no atogu. Na me nante no so no nipa nyansani adwen hu say okay se wo nante a ebetam say obedu baabi no na wabre. Nti wo bra there is something you need to do. E say wo tena ase. E pa chew. E pa kire wade wo ha. Wo ho benches. Na twene dwena staka. Wo ho bench e wo ha. Nti wo nante du ha utimi ye na e tena so. E pa chew wo ho this is a trash can. Oye trash na dey gum. Then let me just take you inside the trash can for you to see something. Inside the trash can, if I show you, so inside black plastic woman, nipa the seniba, ebe trash every day. Once I say that they do a trash can, yeah, because I wanted you to know. It is a one antia now, bra. You get a bench here. You might be cleaning so almost every blessed day. Trash, you be. That is how you build this society. So, it is just clean and neat, right? And then I want to also show you something. One was street lights. Over there. Although the forest is there, there are street lights. Anajo. So factory na me no. One quarry na omoyam no. Right there. Na ade omoye no say omowie omonwie yo. Me don't ko abi. Broni in his wisdom no. What we no obese beautify abo na opai no. Let's build an argument here because Ghana, no, we need somebody like President John Dramani Mahama to have vision for the nation. Now, I'm developing mine, right? And see, they will again beautify Abuona Yapayeno. And one will say, I still come here to join the car lane. No, and yet the capital of the country. No, I live in it's not actually the countryside, but outside the capital. Right, that is why I prefer to live because it's quiet for me here. Because if I go to work and I come out, I just come to relax. I can do anything. I will one day take you to the capital of the country for you to see how the city center is being designed. But today I wanted you to see something. It is a old Ghana and I said, "Oyare." And now there was around the and Saturday morning, okay, maybe Monday to Friday, Saturday, open baby, Ajuju. Then Accra, there is nowhere to do. Into one who are born American, oh how my design is born. And then on my fancy top horn so. Then look at something here. The bicycle riders eba. Udo bomu say somebody can just say will be a bicycle efa. Anybody a nipa efa. Into one who's a bicycle rider no, or ride on the bicycle lane. Right? Instead say what the idea. Into one who's a bicycle rider and air rider on the bicycle lane, which is this color. Bus and cars are on the other side, and then nipa is on somewhere different. And I've won a pie, they really just leave it there. Or more beautify, And then one thing to say, look at the forest, also here. At the net, at the forest, and send a bear, see, Diakura de Bebua, Embaha, Sabobi on jumpe from the forest to where people are, because it is fenced as well. Into one how I born a pie at the year, Quine Casano. Look at how they've designed Abono. Very beautifully. And in Ghana, we have all these kind of resources, but I don't know why we are not utilizing it. So sometimes, Ghana and Penny for no, I don't know. So who's animal way, or they don't even know. I have no idea. And in my community, there is a big forest. Forest is reserved the Obian Concourse. Car, you design a car quine, you design a nipa quine, you design a bicycle quine, all asphaltic road. Now, President. Now let me show video on this particular channel, Monufia Politics. If I show so you subscribe here, you can also subscribe for me. me chira say kwan na president o monye ne name no o moye ne sapetin. So imagine so bia ye even nipa kwan asphalt, bicycle kwan asphalt, car kwan asphalt. On so baby bicycle na no. On na bicycle lane mu na eko. And then forest no, ya fence wo ho with wire mesh. Say na be ya aboa bi wo inside the forest onti me to kwan nim. Dua bi bu a it will be protected and kwamba. How are ye aboa na ye de ye kwan no. Look at how they have dressed aboa no. Say mo Ghana na ye nyina wa adwen o. Enti see you be as a leader, as minister, as DCE, as assemblyman, as unit committee, as president. The question we need to ask ourselves is, that is the kind of question we all need to address. And then when I woke up, it was a bit cloudy. But that is the truth. And we need to build society say nyankopon kura ni baje say enkrofo we amedo mobile we ase yi de sebe omabo mabaso omamo mani age esero sa de mani ye hu bi o ba bia o enti bisa ho say ukoto aba hwan na woto aba na ma no woto aba na ma nipa o wi asika na ase den pese ye teman mu emmra na o man wo dem fan say forest ye ho ye se mo bia mudua wa memi ko budua na there should be a punishment for me o punishing nipa na wa unua na ese ye build this ade de man no o sen aka kire say ono no onte ase sesebe o punishing the body here no. Yes say gold na o mine no e ni nyina ya ban ne dia. E ya mine nyina e develop. Ukotu a ma mine hunu say utu ade we ni hu baby esika ne ko. Ghana when you go after those people are omonje sa amara ni ni ya na wa unuam so omonte ase. Look at these two guys are more riding scooter over here. Kwan na o ha nyina it's ya guso asphaltic road. E kwan bi o ha bi asphaltic road. But so say me boa what they be honest with ourselves. Then street lights all over anaju bia no. One who be also me can't tell a be so hot. Ha, one distance ya nante ba yo me gusa na me kasa o. I want you to see another the same akonwa e si baabi. Na me wi a me be sign the wako park ya in the community asebe. So what na wo feel say okay say dem abreko ama me nko tete mapuma na me de me ba engodi agro freely. I'm going to also show you. But watch this. Baabi me nante free ya e tena akonwa so no. E pa cho so won say ba akontu tia. The same trash can. How neatly it is. Akonwa ni bi ni utimi ye den etena so. Mananti free one few meters. Wabra you come to sit here, right? You build a modern society. One also thing I'm able to say, how they've incorporated flowers and then I say for on the road. Environment, you know, sebe that sweet scented aroma onam system no ma inhale a enya de ebe mo ayare nti all this kind of things that hunya no e nipa na ahyeda asese ato ho say okay ma menye se won pesa wonante on asphaltic road no so a won how ba bia ma me so na me ya hyeda aya abo a enya ateche se obetima nante so akowura forest no akọ what I say. So because sometimes we need to enjoy nature. That is what sometimes I also do. I go sit somewhere, even listen to the birds sing and those kind of stuff, and that creates the. Emma will feel it's a we nipa. Mr. Ghana baby out and why yes I will be. Let's be honest. Young view Kumasi Rotary Park or something like that. President here. Ya say ni na. President John Domini Mama yes I name. And now me no can say. Kwabena say ni na. Look at here. What the community not open say. Udi agro whatever. All these things are, I don't know if my camera quality sometimes it changes into I'll try to make sure say maybe I get a beautification aspect of it. But Ghana is where you astroturf. Ghana we get astroturf. But this is a very simple thing. So woba ma oba immediate grow ewa. Very easy. Society na team no Mr. And then you have to think outside the box. Say okay, all these cars, some of the things are they beautify the system and all these kind of things in freely. Where basketball court, so person ball footballer, say grasses and now person ball. I've also seen a Ghana now. I was saying because Bruno in his own senses and I was okay. Let us incorporate a lot of things in the society. Say the bay I said ubi or no mubiano, be feely very very fine. I think we are making a community room for free and you are not paying anything. I want to walk you somewhere else for you to see something different because how people think and beautify their own society. If I show you my way, right? What we know in the comment section now. Wait me Ediaba. Adewe, I mean you say. Oh Adewe. Aha, bicycles. It is all the bicycle never. Now the bicycle abaha. There is a school also here. See so those kind of things. And this oh yeah, we teacher you or whatever. What the bicycle bar? You can come and then you hang your bicycle all over here, right? That is the kind of society people actually want you to live in and enjoy nature. Until say do have a beer, almost say and no money and how you can how the environment is being designed very, very easily. That is also another forest somewhere there. Trash can I'm catching on the back also in the sea. I want you to see because when Kase ABR somebody needs to think. Somebody that is the point. Maybe I don't want even to bore you. I was a trash can about one forest and how they have neatly dressed the trees and then everything built in. Maybe I live in this community. Though I'm not trying to show you say I'm not rich. No, I'm not. That is not the purpose of this particular video. But the intention is to show you until I live in one of those houses. But let's move on. The intention is not to show you say you live good or I don't live good. In the country I live in, almost anybody can live in this kind of houses. So it's not like that way. You should estate because where you can afford there and where you here for there. No, that is not the intention. Oh, maybe I'm the community. I went to the forest and then I was walking down here. In my community, I was say maybe I'm a car there. I'm going to show you where maybe I was a hand so here, maybe a dipper and auntie, right? Some post boxes. You can just come and then a quite be or heavy guso. But ask yourself where you live, because I want to say Sikana a buy energy generator Sikana way. And who actually has those kind of money? And your president John Domini Mama and I said obey a president. You who's a buy bit me back be a president now over 1.5 years. You're more bossy that me as was and Kakas again and you can again and be and say I want to be to my president about 1.5 years or say more bossy. Obian just adding it because now don't go for the buy. We praise them based on Bosia no mobile. Pacho team under the leadership of President and now don't go for the no. Adia a bomb mabaso. Kinufurata, the then finance minister, my gun and Libya who say Bosia Bohom for so say Utimiko Bob Bosia a bar, not a bear party. I bet you Fuzu, all time call Mania Bosia Cassiaba. A Cobo Bosia Paba. Now besides a Bosiana Coboyano. Sabi, a day now, dear, yeah, for that one day, and people for some movie and be some of that kind of question. But rather, we should praise them based on Bosia or Mokoboy. The President John Domini Mama, President. Yamame, Professor Nana Jane Upukwajiman, as the Vice President, by convention, head of Ghana's economic management team. Kiselato Forsen, Dr. Muya, Papa. I a finance minister. Ombo Bosiada. If I was a kaya, everybody. One was who said, non pedestrian crossing. I also will reduce or slow down for me to just cross it peacefully. Or no be any of them. The copper would be one way. Also, will come. Exactly. And anyway, that is an electronic car. So it's like that. If I show my shadow, if I see you here, neatly in a community where human beings live. For the same thing, to maybe I remember, maybe come me could be feel Charlie. To maybe what I'm saying, never say, I couldn't be free her. Sometimes I've been thinking, I can't I knew. So sorry for my choice of words if I'm not saying the right way. If I told him I did way see. So what community, when I saw one tardy a wompa, either you just come, you dump it in. And you say, oh, bag so, what dress so shoe. Instead, say, be a mean you see be man. I just come, then I dump it in. Ubi subaba abefa. No matter that is where it can fool, you know. That is how it is. So these are manga. And I will use your baller. I'm kind of a trash can tell man a car abefa. Yeah, some Charlie. Sometimes when you look back, now I communities in the woman. My name said, I don't know why it's a bit cloudy. Until my video, some parts will be dark. Man, setting my camera in the year, but I think that what I'm saying matters most than the darkness of my video. But sometimes, and I think I always pray to get the best quality videos for you. I want taxi here, by brand new Mercedes Benz. But it's a taxi, right? This is a shop. So I shop now. What can I? Then what you can I? Ewaha. Adewaha. Waiting the can I say na? What key? You know what lock in and out the car. This is common sense, right? Electronic car. Also charger. There is a charging point also here because these days, cars in the band don't know EV. See, over charger. I want to take you on a tour in the community. Now, if you commander bomb, but any questions in the comment section, wait me. Na yakasa, right? I said I deal with it live, but when I started, I didn't decide to do it live. I could have done it live. Send a along the point and I said, "Oh, be our question, be our wait me." But anyway, let's move on like that because my shadow. When Madam from the car say, "Hospital, yes, one exercise, but oh, never be an exercise." So he decided to go. No, called the town park near so. So he decided to wait for the game to go over. To catch them, honestly, I know because that is where I come from, or that is where I hail from. But I host them say, assassin or Niano, that tone Nina, and the enjoy beer or baby say, young fine exercise any quality, my numa, BBS anyhow. Master Ghana, I buy your casa, I buy any I buy no name and one casa. Wow, and this is a giant development national president in Quantum. Abra president in Sono, and you know any class as your man. And your assassin or mine, and your president in India. Assassin belongs to our chiefs. And the sermon and also sometimes the development of the nation also Mr. Moso bet me Abam Kakra, right? And the money go on, and I'm going from Subeti Day. A man Abam to Menante, and then here there is an overhead. So now, beautifully, because why then are they the area and the president be a major of a commission? Assembly might be a master of a commission. And my home minister be also about a commission because it is your development now. You just get amount, say okay, moon develop mine, no moon design mine to the sense, say, every time I tell me, Libya and your BB, I feel a man who say we are no, but I think it's okay. Maybe and I feel you're signing in common atmosphere. But life, Charlie, don't worry. You're putting in a come up, as I say. So, this is the beautiful nature of how societies need to be built. And back to my conversation. Say, Jai, Amamuno, the presidency, I think they could have developed the nation very, very well, right? By saying, Sassano or my name, and your president in India. It's very sad to say, or he never Thomas has maybe 100 acres when Japak or when Jababia, you design it, town and country planets and design it, couldn't be a Nipa Crabenante, Sebe, say Bijay, all these kind of things in our society, we don't even think about it. Now, or Thomas has seen we know the Kotoka or no pair. Then Nippon also got assassin, then we are then the same or another sign call on the presidents and the MCs and DCs here, Momre light, Momre quine, Momre in Sue, Momre way. Meanwhile, all two assassins, Sicano went to your capreba, Ama Abino. Timester the Ghana, I think it's time members of parliament also try to think outside the box and then engage an animal him for no. Now, move to media, money and normal him for no son, because I said they are part of the process of Sikana Musomunya from and Sassatone and so forth. Among us to engage in some aspect of development of our nation. Now, you must say, as you say, Sebe, so one Casanso, Ed Bayer say, Omojuma, normally develop your Moho, and I say, Omobet Poreka Crebidiama, buying and buying so their development, at the Amamana. I think that is something we need to do as a people. Because also community are meeting me. But you can catch your factory beer, your builder, and I can show you a number of factories. It's actually over 6, but it's a small community. We need to see people who can be due to say 50,000. I can cross check and then see the number of Nipa at this particular community. I mean, yes, we say a dozen, sir. But outside the capital, some few kilometers, I think it's 40 kilometers. I mean, checking here. We say who the population are and Kasaya. Now, with the American, yes, I'm here. I'm a 2 foot through a good. But my person, my cousin be yeah, approximately around 42,000 people live in the entire place as of 2025 data. Yeah, around 42,000. These are 42,000. Let's say between kind companies and factories. Okay, hands over about continuity here. Factory back in so you know. And basically, there is a gas filling station here. Nobody mans it. You just go. I think I'm a you just go. You saw bank card. One car here to fuel. You know. You know. All what you do is say 1 liter of 95 near 2 point over €2, and then Ghana BFN says super power or super V or something like that. And currently they 2.1 something, and a diesel so yet over 2. You know, a liter of fuel in this country over €2. But once it will be you know, until you do what we are, you just take the nozzle, you put it in your car, then you put your bank card there. Now the amounts are open now. You just choose it, and then you fill it, you put it back, then you drive away. I was a we are sending it. But I can't say something that I'm for such a lady way we are sending them because it's a fuel station attendance, you know, in this country, no. Maybe I can just say fuel station about 96% of all the fuel stations in this country, you know. Any attendant to be well do I know why they now say what's what call. That is how the societies are built. But you won't have me new new grasses. I have to make the place very beautiful. I want to be a humanity or bar with dear grasses in our now all the different kinds of flowers. Pollination as if we of course get now I'm boy or my designer bonus so come what better with me so you can even jump on it and then look at how it is. How any person again besides once I deal with more you know patch of why not in the theater community in the theater nobody pays for me. I don't pay for working here and I don't pay for basically anything here. How I bonus so come Ghana bono yeah the no way and because they make good use of almost everything. Maka kwan me nam say asphaltic road o mesro enye sapete nipa kwan ne asphalt car de ne asphalt sa na ye no e wo maybe every year bia no one thing I've realized every year bia you say good kwan so about 2 times. It's all summer is into my go to summer time until a do winter normal say go to the winter one so those kind of things. And then there's a train track and I make I see. So there's also trainer. It came out from the capital, going around the other country, and then the local community trains and so it also works here. Mr. Ghana, no, this is how we need to build society. I decided to walk around for you to see. Sebe, you bet me a chicken mine. A man no a dream of so when you're ready, say what you mine don't go there. Oh man, can't compare DC, man compare MC. Besides, a dear intina of a mine, untimenka. There was a time when we proposed something to the leadership of NDC. I don't know how they took it. This is how I want it to be done. We are going around saying, say, MMDC is in the I totally disagree with that. Because I don't know why I got a BBI about to. I totally disagree with that. Now, never say, Kapati and selecting maybe 3 people from each constituency. And I say each district. Now, I am for the challenges now, mine facing that particular municipality. No? And to him, then we get independent body. You took us in a hour. Based on the answers you give us, no, we will know say, who is the right person to work for this particular job. But let me explain it once again. Maybe if I live in Techiman municipality, maybe Tachima Mikrum idea the biggest problem we have trash. And I can cast a baller. And say salty nipa treya, then we throw it to them. Find a bit to solve that particular problem in the community. Then based on independent assessment, nipa ye fees will be to me, then we give that person that particular portfolio. Now say I buy a point two will be a and then this is administration reason I deal me here and say, wow person will come be for application bra. Now man for the application call no mama be cool no nim hwe. Or the application call. Then they take money. Obi aka jam so man jiska obo aka jam so me say omo jiska. Minim kura the bono is they took money from everybody. Aha. Na we are na ya kwatena se na mpanifo no don buy no mama kasa o select omo nipa omo pe. Na mo dem akọ aban mu won kan e be select nipa 2 or 3. Na hon so yakogege ya na fi de yi ba ko. Wo de be man position wi a ontime nya hwe. Aha. Tisika je nko a na edu abato de kwa se ni asem na say. That means you koto aba e da jiska. Sa na de te Ghana no me nya tell to buy no. But one of these kind of things wow be kind of so no. Then people come to attack you as a person. But obi otimani bi anim say sa de no de e koso. Ha, obi aka so obi okopa MC yanje ni sika oboa, e ji obi asika. Ji obi asika, jiska ni di sa no moye. Jiska ni di wi afi de nipa na o de adwuma be ma no. Sebe so o nzo ko tenika. O koso o tenika wi a na afi de wunya bibi ama no umma ni sika mfa nya hwe. So sika na say what this kind man so mfa kwa kwan obi wi a. What the man so go di toilet obi wi a. Why not take Ghana when him say MC be more adwuma o 10%. Obi anim. And so on the Ghana kwa chicha ma huntu be people are always talking about the meanwhile say sika no say my ni sika dem am say obi afa nkonko development. Sa na ye tie. Ti man na etimi ye nya ya adwen say sebe. Esunya de. By pese esunya de a kan sem ni bi ho a enya de kwa say obi be ka say yenka wa hu aboye wo hai. Ya ni say nkunwa. Udu ha na wa bera na watena so. Peacefully. That is how it is. Enti mesramo hwe ade we wo hai. Bicycle station. We will be use designing to do house now or bicycle na so person ko fa bus stop wa o park your bicycle wa na wa lock no o ko ba wa bi you there bicycle so ade we na ban na free for bicycle keke park your bicycle na ko fa bus ko ba bi o ko ba fa wa there ko ba bi out anyway me be see this is munufie politics say na wa dwen kire o bi ano pa che betimi de wa dwen kire aba mo me share adwen no na vidi emfa develop mine mom because community say the build mine ya onima bi do ha ya the build mine why say sometimes we need to be outside our studios and then show you the communities na so basically I have to go back home see me do be ask say onya amre na be me dini William Munufie am on channel Munufie politics but you subscribe.
All right, Enti, we are back again onto the studio. Say the video now here and how you see it and what about you think about it and over to me. I can't tell them if you want to see most of this kind of videos. Say I will be working outside or I will show you how the outside world is being designed. You can also tell me in the comment section now or the aba. I believe say Ghana and you bit my name be because all the resources here be show you in this entire video. There was resources here. Forest, abo, nipa. Ghana also about Africa. The biggest manpower of Africa is the human being and that one. We have assets. The teaming youth, no, a bit me abo me developing man. But I don't know why we seem not to be using the teaming youth in developing our dear nation. That is why I decided to go outside and then show you how the world needs to be designed. And as to how we want to build it to make it more beautiful for us. And the issue of today. Man who say NPP for nam and a tomb futuru go among for any say John Mama ama Ghana ka a increase. John Mama administration abama Ghana kana a drop no. NPP for nam and futuro mutu go among for any say John Mama ama ka Ghana a incur a lot of debt. T sama mi we say.
Me pese me kama Ghana fo nyina so nte se emprempren ya ye wo mu ye Ghana ni afa wonsa guuti. Se wo ye Ghana ni mprempren ya yetimu ya fa wonsa guuti na start twadwo efri so man Ghana NDC fo ebutu man Ghana siniti ase menkai Ghana fo nyina ye public debt from the time of JJ Rawlings ye papa JJ Rawlings ebebo ka 7.1 billion de to hokoye ye papa John Ajekum Pufo Every abengum na sika wo hono ye $8 billion enu nti no na ye wo $1 billion na se bi ode beka ho, and we can all attest to it. Ye papa J Ekufo eja a footprint of say free maternal care, of national health insurance, free compulsory basic school, free feeding with only $1 billion. Ye papa John Dramani Mahama Evans at almost 8 years on 2008 to 2016 almost an amount of $29 billion. And the back home, ye be say NDC for say dear deporting, and I said Moody says they cannot even boast of one policy. Oh my Ghana na yetimono na nado dan kwaku fado ebe join your mind Ghana mu hanamono or the yen could do $49 billion, which is na nado dan kwaku fado mpoko or the policies of free teachers by no or the $20 billion pen asebi or the kind of public debt yi ehon in them premiera ye ni wo kasei ka ye de ewo man Ghana mu hanamono $63 billion. And unti Ghana ni bi o Ghana he bia no wo de ka $1,800. What the cat 20,000.
Mr. We also say Mami what Ghana na say we different planet be so na ba. Me that I say some kaka no, I don't even know how she is getting those kind of data and those kind of informations from. Masheda a comparison between Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and John Dramani Mahama as we speak. Total public debt. Abela Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo efre komia so no. Now is 726.7 billion Ghana cedis. President John Dramani Mahama and now me no can say no. The total public debt is 720.8 billion. I drop here and I say kosoro. I don't even know where she's getting the data from. Debt to GDP ratio and Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo answer Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo every power no. It was 61.8%. And then I can say 45.1%. And I don't know how she's getting the data. US dollar debt and another Dankwa Akufo-Addo near $49.5 billion. A woman said President John Dramani Mahama Diana a shooting cost kakra, but data nature will say data will give you the reason why it shot up. Also, I'm trying to be fair here. And the NPP phone, I don't know how they are getting this kind of informations. But be omunye free. Se nipa no so na se NPP phone next man say on ko studio ho no. Na sebe so mon kire na de o say no at me share am tia say Ghana's inflation as we speak today is around 5.3% inflation. And then another Dankwa Akufo-Addo, what kind of inflation rise here through 51 or 52%. Mami si onu on kind ade no. CD Ghana CD no. Like 38 na kasa no benefit ho no. CD ni pacho on say baby CD ni gya no. Over 1.5 year ni CD in shaky year. Baby e wo hwa na wo. Interest rate actually has declined. NPP ni si ono on tie. Ohun ye na onye na dwen so okwa akokan. Am say ankrofo we interest so mo free him na do mo ba. Because sometimes me say that wo baby do mo free. You can say a building nation, that's a picky data. Won't you mean need to with the data? Because when some of us are around, you need to. You better to because we read, you need to read and do your own research. Until the 7 can only be a small say, TV, you go around and then you talk. I remember a very simple scenario. I wrote a scenario here. In case it's a income arises from maybe 100,000 cities, equal 200,000 cities. What I say? Now say now what the car. Mami nyeni say baby sa na be mo ate ase kama pa. Say what the car. Now what bobos ya. Now say ebi we see o car na ode no ebi abosun be able to 20% of it. Now say we income increase here. All those you may pay the same 20%, but we say o car no so be tentem. E pa jo say what ma say. So those among others in the NPP for now it seems say that simple calculation when say omo ye no man kasa te omo ase no. They don't even understand it. And I don't know, say, I said, yes, say, nature or more human was a deal. Minia JM Brackon say, Papa ba. What I say, into Hunipa NPP party, no, as or chill ma de cora eyes or my. Let's assume say, or Bushia Unino. This year, when you're money, Juma, what the infants are. Into family income, they increase in Samoko Jebos and Asamokoje, Sikana family canam one and Munina Mukasa Mutia. On say a big decrease. And these among others, NPP for Nagasano, Motana say you need to educate your own people. But omo nche da ntia say. Who we dey? How you? Enti say what they say your mama mamum kwana say Ghana kana kwosoro kwana the way we are managing the resources of our nation no. Amaye adu position bi a chale eno na eboaye. Enti nyema no bi wa mesra mo mama ye mo ntia se kakra. At the end of December 2025 no. Now Ghana yeka around 641 billion. But at the end of this May, I cost 720, which is around 45.1% of our GDP. But can somebody actually pick only that data and say when Ghana yeka cost can I say there be a the debt ratio has improved dramatically. Because in 2024, the debt to GDP ratio in Senegal is 61%. By now, I say about around 44.7%. What I say? Until this group of data, when they pick the data, they don't even read and understand it. Just say that Domoko school. Na sebe So let's imagine say, we earn around 10,000 per month, but we cut 5,000 Ghana cedis. Although say with debt, around 50%, but say we income should equal 15,000 cedis. Your debt will also rise to maybe 6,000 cedis. But you actually say, what the kaka say? Absolutely no. And these are common sense. I made NP before. One chere machita for no. Now if they say na beya ombehu they may be on mine no. They should follow the argument in a minor because say in Ghana no didn't try and follow. Internet ho. People are getting more time to do more research. And you need to rewind your mindset to different places. Emma say Bianca say ugu hu ani mase. Mesra mo NPP for sa ni mani ya no mo hwe ni ye. Enye sa ni mguase na mo de nam ne de emfa. Enti de alaji 38 kwa gina wa na me no kase ato force egu na ni mase. Although say debt na increase ko 720 billion no. Still na ato force egu alaji 38 ani mase. Because alaji 38 na oba beje komia nsem alaji 38 kan kire Ghana for no. Enye ebini ne ne one na nama sebe okugina chama wuntumi wo wona na wo chama wuntumi wo prison say yinja chama wuntumi na de no timamfo no yehu ni ma yepe yanka say yinima de ayepe any yenim how we want the president to develop the nation for us intina awie me ba ya position for me say me no be this enkomoy abobna nwumre 7 p.m. Ghana time. I'll be back na afide about lengthy enwumre dey be call about 2 hours it be explaining a lot of things in the society and actually will be a sebe opese wo hu na matome boase me nko ni kitikiti matome boase slowly ma me George na bibi aboko de na ya to ye boase na fidi ya kire NP before ade because we need to take them through a lot of education. Most of their communicators na just be a chew mo na dem ko classroom ko kire o ma de because sebe aso ma bon sa na me hu NP communicators no o ma bon too much ese kire mo how societies are built. That is what we're going to do this particular evening. Team Pacho Shock Absorbers na mere no so na me ba me no nyina atena bo adwuma no what I say bidini William Munufie amagwa platform e Munufie politics enwumre 7 p.m. exactly 7 p.m. Ghana time. I'll be live on the show bidie boga and so yasane at this particular afternoon edition of Munufie politics at the brain me do be ase nyankopon ene obi a ntena bye bye.
bebesre, bebesre. Binum bebesu, bebesu ni bebesu. Binum bebesre, bebesre, bebesre. Boru ya bebe boy boteha me fanko yeno. Binum badin kunim ama betu be kunim nyom. Yeri kwe yankase beshe.
Yekwe yankase beshe.
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 Ye yashebo besu.
Ye yashebo besu.
Ye yashebo besu.
Ye